Newsom says he is fed up. There are no more excuses. He says the state has done its part, providing plenty of funding to get encampments cleared up. He wants to see the results now. Governor Newsom made the announcement here in Los Angeles yesterday. He joined Caltrans to clear several encampment sites.
And we had our big body challenge today. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups to try to get under 5 minutes. We got close. I was about 5:25. You were right behind us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat. This is our Thursday night TMI. Are you all hearing the echo? It's making me crazy. You don't hear it?
I'm not hearing it. You sound a little hollow all of a sudden, though.
Really?
It's sounding.
Oh, I don't know what's happening. The gremlins.
Yeah, it's always something with these damn mics and tech.
It really is. I'm going to see if I can fix it. Because it's really, yeah, everybody's hearing it. I'm going to see what I can do. Sorry.
Got it. I'll just show it. Look, let's check in on VidGrid real quick.
Okay.
See what's going on with VidGrid. Any interesting news? Let's see what the my good old friends at OAN have to say.
It can't be easy to hear those types of calls.
Diving deeper for a moment, the Israeli delegation includes top officials from Mossad and Shin Bet, along with Prime Minister Netanyahu's foreign policy advisor and his hostages coordinator, while his strategic affairs minister is also set to join. On the other side, Hamas is represented by Khalil al-Hayya, a man who narrowly escaped the recent Israeli airstrike in Doha. Now, Hamas has signaled approval for the hostage release and some other initial elements, but has conspicuously sidestepped the clause about disarmament, insisting it won't happen without Israel ending its operations in the region, and also the creation of a Palestinian state. So now, as the talks unfold, we're all left pondering whether this could mark a turning point after generations of conflict or not. With ongoing operations in Gaza showing no signs of abating, and mediators pushing for
people are saying that
rather than phased rollouts,
they're hearing the echo on the
remains fraught. Now here
Turn
we
your mic
are
off and let's see if the video still
is
echoes.
former Delta Force operator and the co-author of Forged in Chaos, a warrior's origin story, Tyler Gray.
Muted?
Tyler, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having
me. You guys still hearing the echo?
So I want to start, of course, by honoring the lives that were lost, those who've been captured, and everyone who's been caught in the crossfire in this horrific war. And I'd like to get your initial thoughts as we look back at the last 2 years since that horrific terrorist attack.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a rough conflict. I've said this many times. There's no way. There's no
Pat,
way
maybe you should exit and come back in.
I don't know how I could be the problem here, but
I don't either.
Yeah, I am.
All right, I'm gonna exit. I'll come right back. Wait.
We're both leaving. Wait, we
no, we can't both leave. Okay.
My voice is fine, so
I'm gonna exit. I'll be right back.
Any second now. There she goes. Oh, it's just me. I can't have that. Let's look at something else. Let's see if the video is echoing. There's got to be some. First off, with OAN, in case you guys don't know, they're manic Trumpers, extremely pro-Israel. They would never criticize the president on any level.
Experience in war in general, and I think the Hamas peace plan is the same way.
Rural hospitals navigate to get the funding. Republicans passed $50 billion to prop up rural hospitals to support the health care of their constituents, and Chuck Schumer's counterproposal is to claw that back and not spend it. There is really important work being done right now, and we'll get back to regular session as soon as the Senate votes to turn the lights back on.
All right, the Democrats are refusing to vote for the spending bill in the Senate because they want to extend enhanced Obamacare.
I think you should try leaving and come back in.
All right.
Let's just give it a shot. Yep. Look at that. I am not hearing the echo anymore. I hate to do it without Pat being here, but Lila was right. Like, let's just face it. No, but I would love to hear. Can anybody just let me No, yeah, it was Pat. Okay. Hi, welcome. Sorry about that. That was crazy. I don't know what's going on. He got all new system stuff and it still is happening. He will be back, but I know he's going to be super frustrated. And let's scene. Let's just end it there. No, I'm kidding. Okay. He hates it when I tell him it's his fault. He's here, and now I will not be talking about him behind his back. It ended when you left. Yeah. Okay.
I did notice a setting was strangely, they put my microphone on some crazy setting to where even though it was playing through my headphones, the microphone setting for StreamYard was not my headphones.
I know. It's never your fault. I know.
I didn't change that setting.
I know.
So,
I know. I'm teasing you. I am. So the reason that I am like, faster, louder, funnier, not so funny, but louder and faster is because I am trying to catch a plane for a red eye to go see my mom in Cincinnati before I then go see my son at college. And so we have a fairly hard out at like 7:35, 7:40. 7:45. And there's so much to get to, actually. They are talking about this ceasefire, which, of course, I mean, we know all the different ceasefires that Israel has already broken since October, 8th, when Hamas said that they would return all the hostages, or at least all the military hostages, which aren't hostages then. They're actually captives or prisoners of war. But anyway, and they continue to, it is just the most revolting group of people. I cannot even imagine what the re-education in that country is going to have to be. It's insane. Who are these people? And then the Fox guys, or what was that, Onan? And they're talking about that devastating day, and exact same way they talk about it on CNN and MSNBC. And it's like we're in alternate realities.
And that's I've noticed. I listen to NPR and another liberal radio station. I don't know what it was, but both of them had people from Israel on to talk about how they felt about the ceasefire.
Oh my God!
And so the framing was all, my brother's coming back, that kind of stuff. So they're focused. They're still keeping the framing around October 7th and the hostages for Israel for the most part.
It's disgusting. Yeah. Macarius, thank you. And yes, I saw that. He's deploying troops to Gaza because that always goes so well for us. Cheers and thank you for the super chat. And like, what's his name? Obama puts out, on this day, and he did it today because of the ceasefire, but he says something about Israelis and their families and the people of Gaza. That's intentional. Right. Israelis have families, and babies in Gaza are young humans, basically.
Yeah, and I've noticed the other question that, and they asked this on all the other CNN and MSNBC with their guests too. The other framing they're doing is, it's the new question they have to answer is, should Trump get a lot of credit for this?
My God.
Because they're getting libs to say, yes, we should give him all this credit for this. And their answers are all, yeah, we should give him a lot of credit for this. Yes, okay. Some of them are couching it with a little, like, this is the first phase. It's not the whole thing. But like, if this piece still holds, like somehow we're going to give him credit for peace in the Middle East somehow.
I've never seen somebody lobby so hard, so publicly. I mean, it's humiliating to get his Nobel Peace Prize. It's disgusting. And I wasn't, sometimes I wonder if some of that is like a sort of like circumventing like all the people they normally have to go through, trying to talk to him directly to be like, if you can really make this happen, like it's almost a plea. I'm sure I'm giving them way too much credit, but like, I will say there are people who are, very much for Palestinian liberation and self-determination and are anti-Zionist, like Mouin Rabini, right? And I think there's just a desperation that this has to end.
Right.
Josh wasn't supposed to tell me what's happening in the playoff games. So I sometimes wonder if that's part of it. But I also think the other thing that, the two things that have been so telling, clear, disgusting is in the 20-point proposal. One of the steps was, and then Israel will allow aid and humanitarian aid and food back in. Oh, really? I thought they were doing it all along. I thought those 4 GHF sites were, working perfectly. So clearly they knew it wasn't.
Israel will stop bombing hospitals. 22, we will stop starving the population.
Right.
23, we will stop shooting at reporters and we'll stop bombing reporters. I mean, that's what it should say.
Yeah.
And this, look, I understand if you're Palestinian that this is
right.
You need, if nothing else, even if it's a temporary ceasefire, getting some food to you and stopping being bombed is good. But ultimately, Israel is going to break this peace deal.
Of course.
And peace in the Middle East is not, Israel versus Palestine is not peace in the Middle East anyway. Israel will stay at war with 6 other countries.
Yeah.
So you haven't created
Syria,
a lasting
Yemen,
peace deal
Lebanon.
in the Middle East.
Yeah, exactly. So what's really clear is, I know we all knew this, but that they were denying aid, which they were very clear about. Again, all Israelis know this. They, in the Hebrew papers in Israel, they're we want all, they'll say, we don't want to live anywhere near Arabs. Right. Go back to Europe where you came from. Like, seriously. We don't want to, we don't want Palestinians. They're all evil. Hamas, everybody's Hamas. But then the other thing that I think is, and again, I know we all know this, but it's like, if the media were doing its job just for a moment, it's very clear that the US is in control of all of this. And if if Trump gets credit for this, it means he could have done it day one. It means Biden could have done it on October 8th, right? Like, the US,
which is
completely
accurate.
Yeah. So
we could have.
Yeah.
We were the only one stopping the UN from declaring this a genocide 2 years ago.
And a ceasefire.
Yeah.
Ceasefire, genocide, and denying funds to UNRWA,
right.
Giving
but
them
the
arms.
UN, if the UN acted, if we didn't interrupt and veto the actions at the UN, it would have been declared a genocide, and all the countries at the UN would have had a responsibility to treat that country as such, and it would have stopped immediately.
I don't understand. I need to really look into the history. I don't understand why any one country has veto power. That makes no sense to me. That doesn't feel...
It's because we created it. We created the UN and gave ourselves all this power.
And why did we create it? Because never again. Whoops. It's just, it is, I don't know. As long as we're talking about this, before we go to the Katie Porter stuff, I would just like to show 2 things that were just reported on. One was, I think this was in 9+972, the geofence of all of the Christian churches and colleges. This is crazy. So they are basically, because remember how y'all like your phones, and Netanyahu bragged that, they did that along with cherry tomatoes or whatever he says, and pizza. They are tracking people's phones so that when they are at their Christian colleges or in the major churches of California, Arizona, Nevada, and Colorado, they are going to bombard people with these messages, use a combination of personal and professional outreach to the Christian community, large-scale Christian outreach and education to individual Christians and Christian leaders, impressive physical displays of pro-Israel educational materials, comprehensive digital targeting, heavy geofencing of all Christian churches in select markets. So they will get pop-ups, they will get ads, they will get alerts, and it will be all pro-Israel.
That's insane that a foreign government is allowed to have that kind of influence on people in California on our phones. Like, we need to pass a law in California making this just for the state level illegal. But good luck getting that through by any Democrats. And not to tie it into myself, but I have an Israeli VPN company.
I know, right? That's so crazy. That's why your audio is always messed.
Probably. But I've noticed this entire last week, I'm always connected to Dallas. You know, it's supposed to be the closest and fastest internet VPN site, the servers, the closest, fastest servers.
Right.
And all week I'm on Dallas, which makes no sense, which makes me think something Dallas
Maybe
related.
they think you're a big, good Christian in one of those mega churches.
I don't know, but it doesn't make sense. There's no way the fastest server is in Dallas.
From Sacramento. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
no,
just
normally San Jose is the one, you know, San Jose's tech center,
yeah, you're right
2 hours
by,
from me.
yeah, exactly. Dallas, the origin of all the mega churches. This that we talked about yesterday, the Christian outreach of Tim Tebow and John Voight, Chris Pratt, Steph Curry, Clayton Kershaw, who else then other big like Christian pastors, Rick Warren, Greg Laurie. They also, because Christians love the Christmas, and so they have a whole page on the Christmas messaging. December for the Christian church is entirely about Christmas. Suggested targeting messaging changes for digital megachurches in December. Israel protects Christians like no other nation in the Middle East. That's a fucking lie. They bombed churches. They bombed people seeking shelter in churches. I mean, like, what? This is preposterous.
Yeah, it's wild. And this confluence, that's where that OAN, network I was showing in a second.
Yeah.
They perfectly bridged the gap on this Israel thing because they are trying to fuse it as a Christian goal, all this stuff in Palestine. And that's how they've sold it to their audience.
Which, I know we talk about this all the time, but like the end goal of Zionism and Christian Zionism are incompatible. So like,
yeah, they're just friends on earth until near the end, and then they're going to duke it out and be mortal enemies. This all makes no sense, but I don't want to get on a rant on religion, but this is what believing too much in religion will do to a lot of people.
I agree with you, but then if it weren't that, it would be race, or it would be, you know what I mean? Like, it's always a mechanism to funnel money and power to empire. Like, it just sort of is. They would find a different thing to do it with, I think.
Probably, but MAGA is in large part due to Christian fundamentalists, and so
the Republican
it's a natural handoff of them to Israel because it's all tied into power and whatnot.
Religion, I believe, was a good story to control the masses, right? So, but if it weren't that, it would be why white people are better than brown people. It would be.
I'm not putting it out there like religion is the problem in this thing. I'm just saying it's how the story is being manipulated now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Which I think it's so important to peel that away, because nothing that Israel is doing is protecting Jews or Christians, and certainly not Muslims.
And hey, Christians, you could always try listening to your Pope. I mean, Catholics, at least. The Pope came out today and said, people need to look after the poor again. We need to get back to looking after the poor, and you need to fight systems as well. He brought up systems of so that's saying, hey,
he's a terrorist.
You can't be a Republican cutting all the Medicare.
He's an Antifa.
He should come out and say it. Yeah, he'll be on the list as a terrorist.
Yeah. That, because the basic tenets of Christ and Christianity are the basic tenets of every religion, right? Like, do unto others, the meek, you serve other people, that is what we're all supposed to do. And it's just been
that's the part that's always baffling to me with Christianity in particular, how you can just ignore that basic thing about looking after the poor. I mean, that's like such a fundamental part of the religion. And
the dehumanization is such a key aspect of all of it, which, so this brings, the there's a couple videos that I thought that we wanted to share. They're a little long, so, but I don't know. But this one's, it's a doctor from South Africa who is a breast cancer survivor. She was on one of the flotillas. Let's just, do you mind if we just play her? Okay.
Of course.
So this is Dr. Fatima Hendricks, who was just released. She was on one of the.
This is our cheers.
This is our
cheers to her. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We're still coming to you live from OR Tambo International Airport, and standing with me now is one of the members of the South African Global Sumud Flotilla delegation, Dr. Hendricks. Doc, how are you feeling? Finally back home?
We are happy to be back, and we are happy to go back to work immediately. We are happy to amplify the struggle for the liberation of Palestine in loving solidarity with the Palestinian people.
There's a story you told in the press conference about the t-shirt you're wearing on your head and how you ultimately lost your hijab. Can you reiterate that for our viewers and the humiliation that the IDF subjected you guys under?
So the IOF always wants to dehumanize and humiliates people, but we will not allow them to do that. I merely illustrates the methods of humiliation to forbid women from wearing the hijab, parading through the Ashdod prison, to take off the t-shirt of Maryam Abu Daqa, which I had off after my strip search, to go back and to make sure that that t-shirt was taken off. And when they saw that I'm a cancer survivor without breasts, the women, IOF soldiers, made it a point to tell all the other male IOF soldiers about the situation, about my condition, as if the body shaming was going to have any psychological effect on me. Because the only means that they know is dehumanization and violence, brutal violence. And the walls of the prison that we were in, as we were held hostages by Israel, testify to the blood-spattered walls, to the writing on the walls of testimony of political prisoners that have been there before, that were moved just before we arrived.
As a South African, you feel you got special treatment, special attention because of the ICJ case the sons have taken?
Very special attention, very special. Denial, 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 right? No bathing. The last ones out of the prison. So that was the nature of our special treatment that we got. We see that the global south, global north, they exited very quickly. Who was left? The Uruguayans, the Colombians, the Mexicans, the South Africans. All our comrades from the global south were the ones that were left to the last. And they remain in prison, the last 6, right up to this day. And one of them was my cellmate. Yes.
What's next after this?
What's next? We continue to amplify and demand from our government the long list of stopping exports of coal, etc., etc. The work continues because the people united will never be defeated.
Well, thank you so much.
I mean, that's so beautiful. She's so strong. And I honestly, I wonder what happens to a people. And I know we talk about this. Oh, Macarius just said that YouTube is censoring the chat. I don't know how that happens. And I don't know what to do about it.
Follow
Sorry.
up on that.
Yeah.
We can't see the YouTube chat here.
Yeah.
We'd get echo.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. But it is something, it's like a downstream problem that is very likely will have to be faced. Is you see the evil scars that surround so many Israeli Jews, and they made actually, I shouldn't say that, because most American Jews had no affinity, no pull towards Israel until there was a concerted effort by Zionists to make some kind of connection that, oh, you're Jewish, and so, Israel is your home, and that's where, but that's a new thing. And it was not only out of the Holocaust, because plenty of people after the Holocaust did not want to go to Palestine, didn't want to go to the new Israel, didn't want to be Zionists, were very outspoken against Zionism. But I don't know what it does when you have been subjected to such evil for such a long time, how any Palestinian can face the world knowing that we all just sat by our countries and did nothing. Like, how does that not radicalize you?
Yeah, and particularly against the United States, because we had the most power in this situation. We had the most responsibility to stop this.
Yeah.
I think we're getting your messages now.
Yeah, I'm seeing them, but I'm not sure what exactly that you're trying to send. So the other thing, and the other is a testimony at the UN about all of the rapes that happen against Palestinian women by both men and women when they're imprisoned or held hostage. I mean, they're held hostage. They're not prisoners. They're held hostage. And they're always doing these humiliating, strip searches and internal strip searches, and then raping them, probing them, in every orifice with their instruments. We know that was caught on camera several times, but there is testimony now. There is like a deep sadism and hatred coursing through that population that is terrifying to me. I don't know how that's going to be changed,
and how they reclaim their standing in the world with so many countries hating them, and I don't think the ceasefire deal changes that. I think the people want some accountability for all this, regardless of where this goes next. I don't think people are going to drop it.
I hope, because part of the 20-point plan was a de-radicalization of Palestinians.
Yeah, well, you allegedly killed all the Hamases, so yeah. Look, the plan is doomed to fail. I mean, thank God they've got a ceasefire coming to get some relief, but it's
it's
it could be a turning point. It could be a turning point. It can. So let's hope it is.
I mean, I hope that Trump's ego is so delicate that he truly wants that Nobel Peace Prize, and obviously his, pathological greed for more money. And he won't be able to do that if he cannot go forward with the Abraham Accords and all of the different deals and the other Middle Eastern nations that want this to end. So possibly that pressure will help. But then why is Netanyahu still bombing?
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that our media won't cover that piece of it. So it'll just be, there's a ceasefire. Once in a while, people will ask him about the tragedy still happening over in Palestine, because Israel's going to still keep bombing them.
Yep.
And he'll say, "Oh, you're fake news, you're CNN, and you shouldn't have asked that question. That's disgusting to even bring that up. And since we had the ceasefire, it's way down. It's the biggest. The fighting is the biggest down it's ever been. Or something stupid." And the media will just gloss over it because we know they have people on all these major networks to censor pro-Palestine opinions.
They've taken over every single part of corporate media. Ken Klippenstein, who was the one who broke the story because nobody else did, but about the the presidential memorandum, and National Security Presidential Memorandum 7. And he's been writing about it because it's terrifying. Actually, I mean, unfortunately, the one person who's spoken up about it is Alyssa Slotkin, but just today or yesterday, ex-CIA, far-right Democrat. But The Onion wrote about this, NSPM 7 before the New York Times did. And that is labeling all of us as terrorists. Anybody who is a liberal, not even left, a liberal, is now a terrorist. They had this big Antifa roundtable where we're all terrorists. There was an anti-fascist professor at Rutgers, and we had pulled a story about him that we didn't get to a couple days ago, where he said he had to, the rest of the term, the rest of the year was going to have to be remote because he was getting so many death threats that he had to leave the country. And I just got an alert that he was stopped at the airport. They're blocking him from going to Spain. He was going to leave because they want to punish him for being anti-terrorism, anti-fascism. I mean, this roundtable was so outrageous. There were two crazy little snippets that we pulled. This is,
I was just thinking real quick on that NSPC 7 or whatever.
National Security.
I think it's interesting that they didn't slap a Trump label on it. You know, like the big bill, the big, you know, like they don't want people to refer to it directly, I think. And that's why it has a numbers and letters name and not like Trump's Safety for America Act kind of thing.
I think you're right, because it's going to continue because it's bipartisan. We know that Joe Biden put out a list like that. So yeah, they don't want to taint it by saying it's Trump's memorandum. It's an anti-terror.
It's not easy to refer to it because nobody knows the numbers and letters.
Yeah,
is my
I
point.
just had to write it down. NSPM 7, but I have to write it down every time.
Anyway, back to the videos.
We got Kristi Noem on the job with the anti-fascist, whatever role she's playing in promoting this.
They have been so bold in making sure we're bringing those individuals to justice. One of the individuals we arrested recently in Portland was the girlfriend of one of the founders of Antifa, and that we are hoping that as we go after her, interview her, and prosecute her, we will get more and more information about the network and how we can root them out and eliminate them from the existence of American society.
The founder.
Show me the evidence that this person is the girlfriend. First off, you didn't get the founder, you got the girlfriend of the founder. Like, is that a crime?
Founder. Who's the founder? But I'll tell you,
prove this guy created this. Show me anything.
Like it just started apparently, but then of course they didn't get their messaging straight, and I don't know why he was there, but Jack how do you say it? Pasibiak was there, and this was his input.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having us here today and holding this this roundtable. Antifa is real. Antifa has been around in various iterations for almost 100 years in some instances, going back to the Weimar Republic in Germany.
What does he suppose Antifa was fighting during the Weimar Republic in Germany?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And did they dig up the girlfriend of the guy that's 100 years old?
Yeah, she's 150.
He just said this.
Yeah.
Right.
They were fighting the fucking Nazis who became how is he saying this? Like, I don't understand why there is nobody on the pretend left, liberals, Democratic opposition party addressing this. Oh, I mean, I guess Alyssa Slotkin sort of did, but it was more about the list because she certainly was against the protesters who were protesting against the genocide, right? So like, this is where we are, where these absolute morons who are so underinformed, underread. I don't know if they have picked up a book, although the fact that he even knows about the Weimar Republic, and clearly Jack, Pacific, white supremacist, like gross.
He dabbles in racism left and right.
Dabbles, yeah. So like, who was fighting? What was Antifa fighting during the Weimar Republic? Like, what's he saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying it out loud and you have a decoder on, he's saying, yeah, this group stopped they fought the Nazis back in the 30s, and so they've been around a long time, and I'm glad we're going to weed them out now.
Those horrible people who fought the Nazis. Like, I don't know. And because we have such a, shitty media, nobody knows. And they do think like, I have to say, I still listen to Breaking Points often. It is outrageous to me some of the things that Sagar says that are so racist, so just like completely at ease with dehumanizing Black and brown US citizens, dehumanizing people who are coming from other countries, who are risking their lives to come here because we've destroyed their countries. I don't know how, because the very fact of sitting next to him and doing 5 shows a week with him, it helps make him palatable for certain people, and nobody should condone that level of racism and bigotry. I think it's so evil. Like, it's truly disgusting.
I get it. I like the format if you constantly challenge him on things, but the danger is you let one terrible thing go and it feels normal because you're the leftist supposed to push it. And I noticed the way they do their segments, someone usually has the last word before they go out. So like you know, if Sagar wants to say some sort of racisty, poor people should die kind of shit or something, it's going to be on his last words and we're going to commercial.
Yeah, that's it for now. And then they can get along on something because, you know, this is such a typical thing of most people. Like, they only recognize an issue when it affects them, right? So now that he has a kid, he's like, oh, our insurance just went up. You know, it's like now all of a sudden he's like, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I do think that having such a contempt, like evil view of certain parts of the world, but then getting along on other things and being fine. I don't know. I just don't think it helps launder the image of people on the right who just want free healthcare. Right. And when
I hear you.
we all have to like escape this evil empire and become refugees, whether it's for climate or fascism or whatever the hell, then all of a sudden he'll understand, oh, this is what it means to try to escape.
Yeah.
I don't know. The lack of empathy.
You know, I think it's one of the few places where you get to see an actual argument in good faith-ish kind of between the two political views. I mean, he exposes his you know,
dude, I just
who he is exposed to the level that leftists aren't going to like Sagar ever. So I don't think you're turning leftists against leftist policy. And she wins the argument 99.9% of the time.
You know what? That's a really good point.
So, but the flip side of that is like when Fox News has their Democratic guy on, it's always a really
Fetterman.
It's a guy or woman who's bad at explaining things.
Yeah.
they're there in good faith as the Democrat, but they're always like someone unskilled in debating or having bad memory or
or is airing stuff that he hates about what Democrats are doing, like a Fetterman or a Joe Manchin or whatever.
Right.
So it's like,
but I mean the regular people that they have that are hosts that are Democrats.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or guests, you know, that are sort of on a panel, but they're always Fox panelists. Or paid by Fox.
Yeah.
They're always just bad at their job. So that's how they get in there.
Smart tactic. Okay, just really quickly, because then we should get to the Katie Porter thing, and then I have to catch a plane. But this is also so crazy. Stolen images. So, you know, we've all seen the different mock-ups that Israel produces to say like, oh, this is the, you know, hub underneath the hospital. It's a Hamas hub. It's a headquarters. This is why we had to blow up 300 people. And you're right.
Here's a virtual reality of you walking in the tunnel underground.
Yeah. These images were all stolen either from this Scottish Maritime Museum or there's another one. Sorry. Okay. They've released dozens of 3D animations illustrating alleged Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iranian sites. The people who are way more tech savvy than I am, like went in and like zoned in on different parts of these images and found that they were stolen. So some of them were stolen from this person, this 3D creator, Ian Hubert, who makes bespoke models created for his sci-fi project Dynamo Dream, which is available to his Patreon subscribers. Models of parking lots, antennas, pipes were repurposed as Hamas and Iranian military sites. And so they show the exact images that were clipped and then added to make it seem like, oh, this is a Hamas tunnel. This is where they're doing, a weapons deal. And it's all just created by some guy who is doing it, I think, for some kind of I don't know if it's a game or some
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's like an exploration sort of, journey that you can access if you are one of his Patreon subscribers.
Well,
and they're using it.
I mean, you just have to think back to the beginning when they were doing their own reporting, and they would, they brought in the guided reporter, and they did the fake mock-up of here's the board that shows Hamas's plans, and and here's the laptop that is open to a page. I forget all that shit, but they lost the media war with their on the ground fake news reporters.
Yeah.
And so this is the aftermath of well, we can't show you any footage, and we can't let anyone in there, but trust us because we made a whole 3D mock-up. It must be very real.
Yeah. And it has a cool splashy look. And so and one of the things that they wanted to do, wait, sorry, I'm doing too many things at one time. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. They intentionally had this group of people who then explained it on TikTok that what they wanted to do is package these videos to make them easily accessible so that other media would use them because they look so glossy. In fact, it's like all the disgusting videos that Trump puts out with the ice, the ASMR stuff. It's like they wanted it to feed into mainstream media, and it did. They've been used everywhere. This was their aim. There's, it's all over the place. I don't know. I just it is so, it's just the fact that people are still talking kindly about the nation that is doing the genocide and lying about the people who have been subjected to their horrors and apartheid and for over a century. It's like banging your head against a wall, but so much worse. And the proof just keeps coming out. And it's like, oh, people see it. That will change people's minds. And it has. The world knows. The world knows. But it doesn't change the people in power. And that's money. That's just all money.
And that's the big problem with every issue us leftists are fighting for.
Yeah.
Every issue we're fighting for has majority support. So
it's true.
We have to get power outside of hey, let's convince some more libs. That's not going to do it.
It's not, because also even libs are against the genocide.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean,
yeah.
Part of
Sorry.
it. No. I mean, that's it. Yeah. You because the libs don't. Even if you change their opinion, they were pro-Israel, and you're like, hey, now you're on our side. Well, they still want to vote us out of it, right? They still don't see that there's any possible action that can be taken other than voting, or lawn signs, or attending a protest. But they don't, and all that might get them escalated, just like we went through our Bernie phase, and we're like, fuck the inside out strategy. We all sort of stepped up to where we're more burn it all down and start over. Most of us at this point, but so it might get them closer to us. Maybe they would have been here in 10 years. Now they'll be here in 5, but that doesn't help the situations we're in right now.
Yeah. And the blame is always on the one chance of somebody sort of left who doesn't succeed, instead of all the people who are right-wing Democrats who have not only delivered us fascism, they've also, given over everything to Trump twice and MAGA. They're not even fighting. I mean, it's all, but that, because those are the people in power, their failures are always justified. Whereas if the left fails, every once in a while when they get a shot, that is proof
permanent
that,
proof that the leftist ideals are bad for the Democrats and the world.
All right, let's just watch this Katie Porter thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Listen, when she endorsed Elizabeth Warren over Bernie, she was dead to me, like with all of her whiteboards. I don't care. That was so like that just showed who she was at that point. But she's running
now her
for
full ass is on display this week.
And what's so interesting is how quickly everybody was like, yep, we fucking hate her. You're done. Bye. They've all known, and they kind of kept it hidden, which also, like, you know what? Screw you. Like, don't do that. It's helpful to tell people the truth earlier. Anyway, this is her stellar interview this past week with Julie Watts on CBS.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered our follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
I mean, I've seen this now 5 times. My jaw drops every time.
Yeah,
that's
same.
insane.
I mean, look, to assume you can go into an interview and not have follow-up questions, like I thought you were just going to ask the 7 questions on the list, but these follow-up questions, I'm me. I don't do follow-up questions. This is turning into an unpleasant experience. I thought this would all just be positive.
I mean, she's like
what?
Trump. Sorry, this is like the Trumpification. Like, you're a leader. First, lead your lights. Like, why didn't anybody help you as McCarthy? Like, your lights, your outfit. Like, you're a leader. Why are you sitting that way? Your team obviously hates you because look at how they allowed you to present yourself. And I'm sorry, but like, you got to think about this when you're on camera as a politician. Physically, they let you look like that. They hate you clearly. And then I wanted it to be like, it's not off the record. You're on the record. You're talking, and that like this woman was not being confrontational.
No, that's a softball fucking every election question everyone on earth faces in a split district. And
I don't need them.
Her answer to it on its own, forget all the other distractions. I don't need them. Well, I need them. I don't need them. I'm me. Who put me in this fucking interview? What's going on here?
Crazy. So right away, because clearly this is an ongoing, it's like with the Amy Klobuchar. And I do think it matters how you treat your staff. That is an important part of how you govern. Of course it is. That's how you think of people. That's how you think of people's time and their effort. If you treat them like shit, if you're throwing your whatever salad comb at or stapler at your people, that's gross. And it means that you have a level of disregard for the people around you and you expect a cult of power. And that's gross. That's not nobody that we would ever want to support.
For all kinds of reasons, but one of which is that means the only people that will thrive in your environment kiss your ass.
Yeah.
So you're going to easily be led down. You're not going to get the critiques you deserve from your staff.
100%. And you'll be a shitty leader because of it. If that's how you respond.
And people will half-ass, like you said, her staff put her in this position for this unflattering view and all that stuff.
And I know, normally, I try not to talk about people's physical stuff, but that was clear. I'm sorry, but that was clearly intentional. There is no way in California, especially, but any politician has a staff. They're aware of cameras, lights. They're all looking at the feed. They know what she looks like. They know the lighting. That was intentional. Okay, this is from 2021. 2021, 4 years ago.
You ready for stat number 2?
I am.
All right. $632, which is how much you save in fuel and maintenance costs when you replace your traditional car with an EV, with an electric vehicle. So I lease a Chevy Bolt. It is the best car that I have ever owned. I just plug it into the garage, 3-hole prong plug, and I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Perfect.
Okay.
All of a sudden she cares about her shot 4 years ago. That's hilarious. So gross. Who the fuck does she think she is? She's in her kitchen. The whole point of looking like that, she's wearing a frumpy top. She's in her kitchen. There's crap all around.
Yeah.
There's a way you could be and also her person's trying to help her staff with an added fact that maybe is going to come in.
No, and she got something wrong, and this is obviously being recorded. So interrupting and being on camera when you know that segment is wrong and you're going to edit it out.
That's get out of my fucking shot. Yeah. That's fucking I wouldn't say that. I'm an actress. I would never say that. I would just use it. How oh my God, that is crazy. That is a crazy way to treat a person. Especially because, her staff is trying to help her make a correction. I don't know. That's wild to me. But also what's interesting is how quickly, once the first clip that we showed that just happened was released, all these other clips came out. So there's that. There's a couple other things. Wait. But people were so quick to show it because they've known. But they didn't say anything because they thought she was the most progressive Democrat running for governor, which again makes me furious because that is not going to win governor. No, sorry. Like, there's no way.
No,
and why would you want her to?
I do wonder. It feels like this is an organized hit on her. I mean, it's just the material coming out, but like, who is behind it? Is it staffers that are just like, we finally just have had enough and we're gonna.
Well, but the first one we showed, I mean, yes, somebody released it, but I think they were probably, I mean, I don't know why, but the first one is a recent, like the long one where she was like, I don't need them, ma'am. Big dumb animal. Thank you. I thought that we weren't going to have a show, and then the airport was closed, but now it's open again. And so what if we don't have air traffic controllers and there's some storm?
It could be your last show, Lila.
Cheers, I'm going to make it a good one. Get out of my shot.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Cheers. And thank you. And Teresa, thank you so much. And thank you also. I think you did a super chat or a gift to us right after we ended or this morning. So cheers and thank you. And thank you for the gifted membership. Yeah. And then, it turned out, listen, I mean, people have their own personal relationships. And yes, it comes across as more human. And also, like, God, like, you want to be human. What are you doing if it's not to be human? Like, what is the project here for these people?
And did she think she was just nailing that so hard that it was like, oh, you just ruined my Oscar award performance on EV vehicles saving? And it's obviously so scripted anyway. I mean, the tone between them was unnatural. Like, they knew what they were going to be saying to each other.
Take two. Just back to one.
Yeah, just
do it again.
Retake with the right facts this time. It's not hard.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing that she did, and this, this I have a little more sympathy for because, of our hardcore anti-COVID stuff. But wait, what was this? No. Oh, okay. So apparently now people are just saying dumb things like, okay, there's a video call where Katie Porter complains to Jennifer Granholm that she hadn't been invited to the White House with Joe Biden, even though she's done a shit ton of raising money for him. I mean, whatever. Now that starts feeling like people say stuff.
Right.
This I thought was interesting. So this is a private text exchange between Katie Porter and her staff member, Sasha. She writes, and it clearly was released by Sasha. Sasha, I cannot allow you back in the office given your failure to follow office policies. Cody will be in touch about having your personal effects shipped or delivered to your home and will lay out your remote work schedule and responsibilities for your last few weeks. And Sasha writes, I understand. Thank you for the last 2 years. 2 years. And all that I have learned. I hate to have disappointed you in this manner. As I know it isn't an excuse, I had found out my friend from the Navy had been murdered and my head was not in the best place. Not an excuse, but the reasoning for the lack of forethought. I appreciate everything this office has done for me. Well, you gave me COVID. In 25 months, it took you not following the rules to get me sick. My children have nobody to care for them. So 25 months is over 2 years, 22. So in 2022, I mean, yes, that does really suck. Like, it sucks. But also, did you hear that her friend was just murdered? Like, is there your president Biden that you just raised so much money for has already told people at this point, COVID's over, the pandemic's over, take off your mask. You're raising money for that fucker who is killing 800,000 people and infecting millions more. You're raising money for that. And your staff member of 2 years had a friend murdered, and that's your response.
I mean, to just ignore that entirely is just beyond. You can't just ignore that entirely. You're just a bad fucking person.
Yeah, clearly.
You could have said the same thing about COVID and still shown an empathy in one sentence to her and not been such a villain.
100%. Anyway, that's Katie Porter. Want.
Well, I've not liked her for a long time, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I just think it's interesting the way the media.
Yeah. Well, she got leftist cred just because she's, aggressive in conference meetings, in Congress. When they have people come in, she grills people, and she's been pretty good at it, but that's all she's done. She hasn't really passed progressive policy that I can speak to.
No, nothing. Like when did she ever stick her neck out and use her power? Every time I think about that interview that we had, that I loved so much. I mean, I make it sound like it's forever ago. It was a week and a half ago, but with Shama Sawant, like, what have you accomplished? How have you used your power? How have you leveraged your power to make actual wins for the working class? Like, what have you done? What did you withhold? Why are you raising money for fucking Joe Biden? Then, like, dead to me, done, dead, whatever. Anyway, gross. I just thought it was, funny. Speaking of, because then I am going to have to go really soon. Did you want to, is there anything you're like, we definitely should show this?
Let me scroll real quick. I mean, I'm just glad. I mean, the Tapper stuff, do we want to get into?
I mean, that was the other thing that I thought was really interesting, especially because it was Stephanie Ruhle who's holding him to it. So that's the one that's labeled media. And just because I am going to have to like skate in like 5 minutes, a couple programming notes. Yeah. On Sunday, we are live streaming Shama Sawant's big rally. It's during the day. We'll put up the schedule, but it's during the day. She's doing a rally that will be live streaming. I have to look at the exact time. I think it might be noon Pacific, but we'll be streaming it through our channel, which we're really excited to do. And we will have a show, and then we'll have a little bit of a weird schedule possibly after Sunday, but we'll have our regular Sunday shit show. I just wanted to put that out there.
Got it. Shama Sawant, it's at 2 p.m. Pacific.
2 p.m. Pacific. Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. You want to show the
yeah, which one do you want to roll?
It's the one, I'll press the button. I'm going to press it. So this is Cuomo talking to Stephanie Ruhle, who is, no friend of people who aren't political donors.
President Trump has made his interest in the New York City mayoral race well known. I spoke with former Governor Andrew Cuomo about what kind of influence the president may be having on his campaign. Watch this. Your opponent, Zoran Mamdani, believes that Trump is helping you, right? Trump has called Mamdani 100% communist lunatic. And Mamdani says Trump is clearing the path for you, and if elected, you will clear the path for his agenda. What do you say to that?
Let's go back to the word delusional. There is no governor in the United States of America, no elected official who fought more with Donald Trump than I did. None.
You share a lot of his same donors right now. There are a lot of New Yorkers who are very excited about your campaign, who are also very excited about Donald Trump. Don't tell me that's not true.
Are there New Yorkers who gave money to me and gave money to Donald Trump? Of course. Of course.
Why is that an of course?
Well, why not? If you are a New Yorker, you know Donald Trump, you know me. Many of them would give money to Donald Trump and give money to me. And money.
Why? What do you and Donald Trump share in common?
We're New Yorkers. They know me, they know him.
Yeah, but let's just stay on this, and I don't want to take too much more of your time because I'm surprised by this. You think that something about Donald Trump makes someone give Donald Trump a check and Andrew Cuomo a check. What is that thing that the two of you both share?
I think that people who know him and people who know me. I think
what are those things?
The personal knowledge. He lived here. I live here. You may be a friend of Donald Trump. You may know me. You may contribute to him. You may contribute to me.
But
There's no similarity. As a matter of fact, there is no one no two people have had a more hostile relationship than myself and Mr. Trump.
Okay, why do you think? Okay, wait, sorry. First of all, thank you, Teresa. Thank you. My goodness, pup. Yes, punch
Cheers,
up
cheers.
always. Cheers and thank you. And thank you, the Runs, for not spoiling it. Why do you think? Why do you think she's doing that? She hates him.
Oh, that's a possibility. I mean, he's very unlikable, and the sexual assaults, and
The sexual assault, the killing people, like it's all disgusting. Clearly, we know that he's been having phone calls with Trump, so that's a lie. But like, she's never done journalism. All she ever does is be like, "Oh, Bernie's policies make me and all my fancy, Upper East Side friends feel scared." But so why would she? Because
yeah, that's interesting. I haven't really thought about that.
I don't know. I just think it's
okay,
the fact that he doesn't mind saying that. Well, we all know the same people. Like, he's doing the bit. He's like, yeah.
I think I have the answer. They know he's going to lose,
so they want to be on record as having been against him.
He's going to lose,
right?
Yes. So it's like hey, we called this one. We're calling balls and strikes. We're being honest here. I don't know. That could be it. Because he's cooked. They're not going to turn this around. I
know, but like they're still going to be on the side of everybody who was on the side with him, right? Like, they're still on the JP Morgan.
Yeah, but then they can say that Cuomo's a bad candidate because he aligned with Trump.
Right.
And that could be how they hang him. It's not that Mamdani's ideas were good. It's just that just like Adams was a bad candidate, Cuomo is a bad candidate. Strategically, he should never have aligned with Trump's donors. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, they're all just so shameless. They're just shameless. Like, none of it matters. None of it matters.
It doesn't.
Government shutdown. And this lady is saying, while federal workers stress over missed paychecks, military families turn to food pantries, and airports around the country face delays, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are bragging that every day gets better for them. Totally agree that the Democrats, I mean, now they're making it about healthcare, whatever. They don't give a fuck. They kicked 18 million people off of Medicaid when Biden was president. They, let COVID rip. Like, they obviously don't care. They won't fight for Medicare for all or single payer or anything. But, and you don't say like, we'll wait for it to get really bad so we win the midterms. Gross. But what kind of fucking country has food pantries? Why do we need food pantries?
Look, if you're making the argument here that you should be as a Democrat, Republicans pulled the funding from all these food pantries. So the food pantries themselves are massively underfunded than where I don't know the number. I could make it up, but I heard it recently. I want to say, 38 billion. That's not really the number, but it's a massive number. It's a huge number that was cut from food pantries this last year. So they can't make the argument that this is stressing the food pantries without, if you had a Democratic opposition calling them out on this shit.
I mean, truly, we should not need food pantries or homeless shelters or philanthropy.
No, we shouldn't. But I mean, food pantries as a concept is sort of communist in a way anyway. Like, I'm not against.
Okay, if it were that, that's different though. I mean, yes, I agree with you. Like, I love the community aspect, but the food pantries are not, that's like the bottom of the basement safeguard before you're on the streets or you are on the streets.
Oh, I agree.
Right?
I mean, I agree.
So, like,
but anybody can go get food there. So
right. But like, they missed one
requirements.
paycheck. And now she's saying that military families need to go to food pantries. To me, that's a real problem with the way this system is run. I think.
Yeah, it's a deeper problem. But I mean, I'm on the the side of expanding the shit out of food pantries.
No,
So,
yes,
and
me too.
I
I'm
know
a
you are too.
socialist.
I know.
Yeah. I like all of the stuff that's like, oh, this is the social safety net, but not the real one that we imagine that is everybody's provided for, because of course we should be able to provide for everybody. It's we're not going to pay you. You're always going to be terrified. You've missed one paycheck and now you have to go to a food pantry is different
Yeah.
from, hey,
Totally.
I clean your house and you grow cabbage and you cook like that. To me, I love that. But this is about like, and now they're destitute. Well, why? Why is anybody destitute anywhere in the whole world? Like,
right. I mean, and you're talking about missing the first paycheck, putting them in this dire situation. That's a good point. Like, it really is. Lila is right.
I'm just gonna leave for the airport.
We can end on that. We should just drop the mic, balloons from the sky. We're out of here.
God, there's so much to talk about, but we will get to it. And is there anything else we should talk about before? No, we should.
Nope. Let's let you get to your baseball. See what happened.
I know I got to get to the airport, which I'm taking
yes.
the red eye. Oh, I hate the red eye. I hate
Godspeed. I hope that the
air traffic controllers show up.
Well, at least remotely.
We didn't even play like one fun thing.
What do you got? We got something? Cue it up. Let's do it.
All right. One little pup thing, and then we'll come back before we say goodbye.
I gotta go. You put your father. I gotta go.
Oh my God. Okay.
One more kisses.
This is what Churro does when I try to get him off of me.
What is gonna do what I want to do? Hey. Excuse you?
I can see where this is going. Don't even think about it. No. No. Oh, God, no. Come on.
You're such a baby. Watch, if I let him down, he throws a fit.
Okay, put him down.
Pa. Thanks, Jasper.
No. No, no. No.
That's cute. PSA, don't ever pick your babies up with just their hands, only under the armpits, because you'll dislocate your shoulders.
I did not know that. That did remind me real quick, because I had my apartment inspection, I had to get rid of my indoor cat for a few days.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me sad because Pablo from my outdoor cat, indoor-outdoor, normally if anything is slightly moved in my apartment, he freaks out and leaves. Like if my bag isn't where he's used to seeing it,
Right.
he's very weird like that. But he walked in and looked freaked out and then realized he didn't smell strike and was just the happiest, purriest cat. Like I've never seen him that friendly in my life. Like he's so happy the little one's gone. He probably thinks I finally got rid of her. And
you're gonna like when Strike comes back, there's gonna be a lot of pee and poo
protest.
everywhere. I know.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna go. You guys are all amazing. We love you. And even though we all have many reservations about the ceasefire, we're just, you know, our hearts are, of course, with people who are possibly getting a respite, even for a day, which is just less than you can imagine anybody should ever have to ask. But cheers to whatever reprieve they get. Cheers to all of you. Thank you. Love you guys. I will be talking to you from Cincinnati on Sunday.
Cheers.
تقف المعاناة، تقف أهم شيء المعاناة، الجوع، الفقر، التشريد اللي احنا فيه.
يعني نص فرحة صراحة، لأنه احنا فقدنا كتير. يعني أنا بيتي فيش فيه معلقة، فيش فيه شوكة، عبارة عن شوية أحجار.
الحمد لله ونشكر الله انه تم وقف اطلاق النار نهائي، واحنا بنقول الحمد لله ان شاء الله يتم هذا وقف اطلاق النار ونرجع ونضم اسرنا ونضم اهالينا ونضم حبايبنا ونعمل خيام ونقعد مطرح دمار بيوتنا والحمد لله والشكر.
نرجع لبيتنا لأجدادنا لأماكننا أملاكنا، نشوف أحبابنا، نشوف قرايبنا. الحرب فرقت الناس عن بعض، كل واحد في ناحية، ناس في الشمال، ناس في الجنوب، ناس في الوسطى.
أن غزة هي كالعنقاء تخرج من تحت الركام ومن بين الرماد ومن بين الدمار لتبدأ حياة جديدة ولتظهر للعالم وتعلن للعالم أجمع بأن غزة ليست عاشقة للحروب والموت، وأن غزة هي عاشقة للحياة كما غيرها من شعوب العالم.